Hey guys, how are you all doing today? Thank you so much for tuning back into my channel. It really means a lot to me. My name is Zach and I've been creating nerdy and pop culture content on YouTube since 2011 to encourage people to embrace what they are truly passionate about as an individual and express it to the world, despite whatever pushback they might get from naysayers. And nothing has been more central to this message than my last year playing the Xbox, Windows, shared world, cross-platform game Sea of Thieves. It has been the most entertaining and community-engaging sandbox game that I've ever played, offering hours of non-stop laughter, a whole lot of frustration, and endless seafaring possibilities that I'm sure at one point or another we've all imagined ourselves out on the high seas with a ragtag crew of pirates. With Sea of Thieves having just passed its first year birthday mark and a massive anniversary update coming in just a few days, I wanted to share with all of you guys why today, right now, is the best time to hop into Rare's high-intensity, loads of laughter, barrels of fun pirate game that really has taken the internet by storm. If you're a savvy sea dog who's been sailing the open seas for a little while now, I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, and stories down in the comment section below. If you're adept at solo slooping, or whether you prefer to be a full galleon terror on the open ocean. And if this is your first time tuning into one of my videos, hi, it's great to have you here. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. Make sure to click the subscribe button if you want to be notified of when I put out new nerdy content, and click that bell icon because honestly, notifications are always broken, so you have to do everything you can to make sure that you're getting the content that you signed up for. With all that out of the way, let's dive into this video because there is a galleon full of awesome things to talk about. If everything I've said so far still has you in a bit of a fog, let me clear some things up. Sea of Thieves is a shared world, cross-platform, nautical multiplayer sandbox adventure that has been developed by the company Rare, who also brought us Nintendo 64's GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, the Killer Instinct series, and the infamous Banjo-Kazooie. The hype fluctuated throughout the first year as players became familiar with how everything worked, complained that it got boring. Rare developed some DLCs that people were excited for at first, but then again they figured out how things worked, and then it was just the same routine over and over and over again. And now with the anniversary update, we have 3 mega ways to play coming in: the Arena, the Hunter's Call, and Tall Tales. These 3 new additions are going to expand the lore and experience of Sea of Thieves that I think new and old players are really going to be able to jump in on. There are already some content trailers on the internet for these 3 new ways to play, as well as some actual game footage from IGN's YouTube channel, so I will leave all of those links down in the description below. The first of these factions is the Arena, Sea of Thieves PvP mode for those combat-heavy buccaneers who are desperately looking for the adrenaline rush of battle without having to worry about whining flounders that get slaughtered as they're minding their own business. They will find their home at the new Sea Dogs Tavern. This mode is a 6-galleon race to complete identical maps while strategically sailing, battling, and cashing in loot in 24-minute matches, which is the equivalent of 1 day in the Sea of Thieves world. So in those aspects, it's really not just all about the player versus player aspect. Having an experienced helmsman, superb boarders, and a skillful navigator can be the key to winning the competition and claiming the top spot and the cash prize, as well as a lot of reputation, since the Arena will open up a different faction that you can use to achieve Pirate Legend, which is level 50 in at least 3 factions in the game. I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of gameplay and strategy is going to come from this Battle Royale style within Sea of Thieves, since a lot of players have already gotten into the groove of how they run a crew. Factoring in this high-stakes environment may force them to change their gameplay, or it could push them to really lock in what it is they've already been doing, and they could dominate right off the bat, so gonna have to look out for those guys. But if competition and combat aren't your swig of rum, you can always dive into the Hunter's Call, essentially Sea of Thieves mini-game faction that I think is pretty reminiscent of the fishing hole in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Merrick, the host of the very first DLC developed for the game, The Hungering Deep, returns with his family to offer this fun and relaxing, entertaining way to spend your sessions out voyaging. You'll be able to catch and cook a variety of fish species scattered throughout the Sea of Thieves world, some a bit more rarer than others, in addition to existing wildlife like your pigs and your chickens that are already in the game. I didn't see anything about snakes, but I have a feeling that wouldn't be a really good delicacy. And as wild as it is, all ships will now be equipped with harpoons for players to become skilled at an array of maneuverable and wild antics. Like, there was an article posted from PC Gamer a few days ago of people in the Insiders program actually using them to latch onto mountains and pull themselves up. That was hilariously coined the term Spider-Manning by Joe Neat in the Hunter's Call preview stream that happened a few weeks back. I really hope that's going to continue once the update comes out, because that would be hilarious to see a galleon just wedging its way up the side of a mountain as you're minding your own business on the open waters. And the last part of this massive anniversary update that I'm personally looking very forward to is Tall Tales, Sea of Thieves narrated adventure mode that allows players to dive into the lore of the game so much more than we've ever been able to before. We might be out sailing and we come across shipwrecks or these paintings on rocks that have been speculated on how they got there. But now we're actually, hopefully, going to be getting confirmed information throughout this Tall Tales experience that will enrich and enhance players' experience in the game. Rare has given us a little bit of story within the Hungering Deep, Cursed Sails, and Forsaken Shores campaigns, but Tall Tales is going to surpass that 100-fold. Players will be able to interact with existing NPCs in the game, like the mysterious stranger at the back of every tavern, and the Order of Souls lady in the Souls tent. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with all of that. It seems like you're going to be able to use the constellations as navigational tools, which I actually asked a question about in the preview stream, and remarkably I actually got a response.
From Zach ATK77 on Twitch says, will constellations be incorporated into the storyline? That one clip of the woman with her crab looking up into the stars is very interesting.
Oh, they spotted it. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Love that crab.
From what the developers were talking about in the stream, it looks like you're going to need to assemble what's known as the Shroud Breaker in order to navigate your way through the Devil's Shroud that is constantly moving throughout the Sea of Thieves world, and that will allow you to gain access to this hidden island known as the Shores of Plenty. Within that, things get really, really interesting with interactive traps that actually interact with the world itself, like we kind of see a little bit in the Devil's Roar and the Geysers, since they're able to take out skeletons, and from the look of the trailer, you're also able to do that with the traps. We'll also be able to encounter a plethora of unseen hardships to the game thus far, with new species of skeletons and skeleton lords, which is going to be very cool, but no doubt an atrocious battle to go through. I can definitely say with certainty that Tall Tales will be taking up the majority of my sailing sessions, since I have always loved and thrived off adventure games and story-driven content that enhances the gaming experience, and Tall Tales is 100% going to be able to do that, not just for me, but for all of you guys as well. But fret not if the prospect of jumping into these new additions to the game seems a little intimidating for you, since a lot of other people will be on it as well, because the classic style of Sea of Thieves will always be available. You can still do your Gold Hoarder missions, you can still do Order of Souls and Merchant Alliance, although that last one, why would you really want to? And have a blast with crews, killing skeleton ships, megalodons, krakens even. You're still able to make Sea of Thieves the experience that you want to and live your best Pirates of the Caribbean lifestyle in any way that you choose.
Did everyone see that? Because I will not be doing it again.
Stop blowing holes in my ship!
Why is the rum always gone?
The game may be a little bit pricey, ballparking around $60 plus tax American, which would translate to roughly $80 plus tax Canadian, but it is absolutely worth every single shilling you pay for it. There is so much content to offer, countless possibilities of play style and gaming, that you are able to reach out to people worldwide, since it is playable on Xbox One and Xbox One X and Windows 10, to form a crew based on your needs, your desires of what you want to do with your sailing sessions. I'm pretty sure that's all I have to say about what's coming to Sea of Thieves in this massive anniversary update dropping on April 30th. I hope you guys are amped up for it just as much as I am, because it is such a great game. It has introduced me to a bunch of incredible people, and that's really the second half of my message, is to make amazing connections with people throughout the world by expressing the things that we all love. It's coming so soon. We are 3 days away. But if you want something to tide you over until then, please feel free to check out my new Ko-Fi and TeeSpring merch sites. I have them linked down in the description. If you do enjoy my content and want to help make it better by helping me invest in new camera equipment or a background that won't continuously keep falling down because the poster mounts are crap, then you can buy me a virtual coffee, and that will go towards all of that. If you do donate, you will get access to my private Discord, which is a platform that I've been really enjoying recently because it helps develop relationships more, and I am all about building relationships with people and learning what they love so that we can share about all the nerdy things that we love together. And on TeeSpring, I have finally developed my first piece of merch. It's the slogan or phrase that I say continuously in a lot of my vlogs. English is hard, guys, with a quirky little twist in some of the lettering, because English really is confusing, even for people who use it as a first language, because of all of the different places that have had influence on Canada throughout our history. We've basically mashed in a whole bunch of different stuff from different places throughout the world, and I think this shirt really embodies that. So if you want to check those things out, I would really appreciate it. But if you do want to stay on YouTube just a little bit longer, you can click over here to check out my previous video of when my fiance and I went to Island Entertainment Expo, a pop culture event that's recently sprouted on the island, or you can click down here to watch a playlist of Harry Potter content that I've made over the past few years. But until next time, don't be afraid or discouraged by others to embrace what you are truly passionate about, because you have no idea who in the world you can make an amazing connection with.